Hi guys, the word retirement is a paradox to many people. For the young, it is a joke because they think that it will never happen to them. Whereas, it is a nightmare to the person who is approaching the retirement age because he has not properly planned for a smooth transition from service life to the retired life. Retirement is a natural phenomenon. It is well known to all that on a particular date itself he will be retiring because the retirement is depending on the date of birth of an employee. Still, there is a tension when the person approaches the retirement age. Some people fear that whatever the power they enjoy during the service, they will be losing it. They will not be getting the facilities they enjoyed, and also drive the regular income into their hands. Whereas some people take it as a God-given gift to utilize the retired life for chasing the unfulfilled dreams. It is like in Test cricket, even if Virat Kohli is out on the first ball itself, he can score century in the second innings, if provided he prepares well and determined. Similar is the situation for an employee who is on retirement. If he plans properly, he can make his retired life a fruitful one properly. In fact, I consider retirement as the golden time of my life because retirement is blessed with the extended weekends which all employees dream during the service. So, why not to enjoy it? No more targets, no Monday syndrome, no rushing for 10 o'clock pressure, no weekly meeting, no outside control on your holidaying, no scarcity of time for physical fitness, hobbies, etc. And of course, no more boss. But one caution, retirement is not the time to take rest. If you think that enough work has been done during the service and let me take rest, then rest assured your imminent call to the top will be very early. So, don't get into this trap. Due to busy official life, many people could not spend quality time with their family, their friends and even relatives, and even they could not visit historical places and religious places. Now it is up to the individual to plan properly for the second innings. Many of us fail to understand that the retirement is from the service engagement only. Otherwise, one should actively continue the personal life after retirement by planning properly for the engagement. During the service, we earned a decent saving which will be sufficient to maintain our day-to-day life. So, do invest the money properly. It will be sufficient to meet the requirement of retired life. Actually, a happy, engaged and contented life is more important rather than chasing the money again and again. We should remember, money is not everything. Many people on retirement either think that they have lived their life fully or think that they have become aged. Both are not correct. That is why quite often it is said that age is merely a number unless we surrender psychologically. But physical and mental fitness is a prime requirement for a happy life. So, let us enjoy a happy retired life. Retirement is painful or joyful, all depends upon the individual only. That means it is in our hands. Since the date of retirement is predetermined, one should plan properly for a smooth transition from the service life to the retired life. Take the example of a would-be mother. She starts preparing for the arrival of the baby 9 months in advance itself. She is well aware that she will be blessed with a cute baby after 9 months. So, she prepares for the proper care of the baby during the pregnancy itself. She identifies new clothes for the baby, beddings, perambulator, the hospital from where the treatment to be taken, even the doctor to be consulted, name of the boy or girl, or now even select the date for the delivery of the child. During the pregnancy, the woman dream about the child and prepares mentally as well as physically for taking care of the child properly. Similar is the requirement for a person who is on retirement. He has to plan properly for enjoying the second innings of his life. The present presentation is a consolidation of my experience gained during the training programs conducted for the employees retired from NSPC and other organizations through continuous interactions and feedback from them. All the basic things can be summarized into 7 principles. So, let us see these 7 principles of retirement one by one. The most important aspect of retirement is the financial aspect, and every plan revolves around the finance only. Retirement is a critical phase in which the regular income we will be missing it. Now the retirement benefits needs to be invested in such a fashion that it will not lose the money value and it will continue for a longer period, because the life expectancy has increased tremendously. Earlier the life expectancy was only 20 years, but now it has increased to 30 to 35 years, for which you required the money for the entire life to maintain you as well as your spouse. The corpus is required to sustain remaining life of 30 to 35 years for you and your spouse. Now, finance is not like a flowing river, but it is like a water tank where the water to the tank is very limited. So, use it judiciously. Since there is no second chance, the money should be invested wisely in a secured return where we have liquidity as well as continuous income. As the age increases, money required for meeting the medical expenses will also increase dramatically. After retirement, the common mistake many people do is that they get trapped into the psychological pressure from the relatives and even from their own children, by which they share the superannuation benefits or the duty to start children's business and ambition. Don't get trapped into this new honey trap. There is a possibility that after some time even your own children may forget the sentimental commitments what they made while borrowing the money from you. It is like that when the mango is ripe on the tree, number of birds will be coming around the tree, but once the mangoes are not there, the birds also will stop coming. Similar is a situation. So long as we have the financial capability, including children and the relatives and families, they will recognize and appreciate and be with you. But once the money is not there, no one is going to recognize you, including the children. In India, we have yet another traditional way of thinking for saving for next two generations and living for the happiness of their children and grandchildren, whereas in Western countries it is not like that. This concept needs to be discontinued and to find time to invest time and money for the health, enjoyment and other unfulfilled dreams of you and your spouse. The nuclear family system and children moving to other cities and countries in search of employment has deteriorated it furthermore. Even their own children find it difficulty in spending time with their aged parents. So, one should be pragmatic to anticipate such tearful events in the future. Even one should consider not to distribute the entire property among the children. The best way is to write will, by which how the property will be distributed after the demise of the employee as well as the spouse, to avoid unnecessary quarrel between the children. Now, there is a new concept of reverse mortgaging of the property. If it is required, one can hypothecate the property to the bank, by which the bank will provide monthly EMI to the individual concerned, and after the death of the employee, that property will be available to the children on paying back the amount what they received from the bank. Many people may not be aware of such benefits available in the financial sector now. The common mistake what we make on retirement is disclosing the complete details and quantum of superannuation amount we received for opening a window for others to mesmerize you and for snatching the lump sum amount. Another mistake what normally we make is keeping the entire liquid funds in one bank account itself and operating the same through ATM cards as well as online transactions, Google Pay, Paytm etc., which expose them to online frauds also. In the current increased number of online frauds, especially when an aged person who is less conversant with the technological games and psychological weakness, one should be more vigilant to protect them from the fraudsters. So, my simple advice is that keep and maintain at least 2 bank accounts. Major portion of money in one account which should not have any ATM or other facilities like mobile app, Google Pay, Paytm, etc. The amount required for the monthly expenditure only should be retained in the second account, from which one can withdraw cash by ATM cards or make payment through mobile app, Google Pay, Paytm, etc. etc. The second most important aspect is a physical fitness. The famous share market dealer, Mr. Rakesh Junjunwala, who lost his life at the young age of 55, has repented that his investment in the health was the worst in his life, and he lost his life at the young age itself. Another aspect one should consider is that along with the age increases, the strength of the muscle decreases very rapidly. To avoid that decrease in the strength of the muscle, we should continue and maintain by doing regular exercise properly. Once the strength of the muscle is weakened, it will be very difficult to revert it after a certain age. There is a common belief that the mental capacity of man diminishes at the retirement age. This notion is absolutely wrong, and a man reaches the threshold capacity of the brain at the time of retirement. You will be surprised to know that study conducted by various universities in the USA and UK reveals that the brain of the person becomes more elastic and the connectivity becomes more harmonious between the left and the right hemisphere of the brain, and the intellectual activity increases till the age of 70 years, and also the level of hormone myelin in the brain, which increases and allows rapid passage of signals between the neurons, increases the mental ability by 300%. The neurons of the brain do not die off as believed earlier, but the connections between the neurons simply disappear if a person does not engage in mental work. By the beginning of 60, a person uses both the hemisphere of the brain while taking the decision, which is much contrast to the young people who use only one hemisphere of the brain at a time. From the study, it reveals that intellectual abilities do not decrease by the age, but only increases till it reaches the peak by the age of 70 to 80 years if a person leads a healthy lifestyle, movement and physical as well as full of mental activity. The study concluded that the most productive age of a person is from 60 to 70 years, and the second most productive human age is the age from 70 to 80 years, and the third most productive age is 50 to 60 years only. So, one should be happy to be at the peak of mental ability at the retirement age, unless he do not provide sufficient mental challenges on a daily basis and repair the brain. So, it is a mind which decides whether your body and brain should degenerate or grow. Moreover, such physical and mental abilities will keep the new dangerous Alzheimer's disease, which is loss of memory and movement of hands and legs, away from you. The third important aspect is the proper planning. Before retirement itself, one should plan for the next 5 years after retirement for a proper utilization of the retired life. It is found that learning musical instruments and new technology will strengthen the capability of the brain more than from the routine day-to-day work. I know that many senior people retired from my previous organizations have even started creating sculptures from the wood and taking tuition classes for the underprivileged children, which increases the level of happy hormones in their body. The fourth important aspect is networking. Whatever the network we created during the service may not be useful after the retirement. Even the colleagues also may not have that much same warmth in the relations after the retirement. So, create new network as per your taste and the requirement. So, One should invest time and money in creating new network as per the taste of one person. It can be recreation of happy communication with the college mates who are of the same age group. Even recreating the relation with the family and relatives which we could not maintain due to occupational compulsions. Another important aspect is having sense of gratitude. It is quite natural to forget the blessings we got in the past as well as in the present. If one person counts his blessings, few pages may not be sufficient to incorporate all the blessings one received during the period. If we can see with an open eye the condition of people living in and around. So, create a sense of gratitude for all the blessings and help we received even from our colleagues. Retirement is a time to restart the hobbies what we left behind due to involvement in the service life, or start new hobbies as per your taste. Passion for active and enjoyable life. India is a diversified country with entirely diversified geographical as well as cultural and climatic conditions. So, all should compulsorily find time and plan for holiday to visit various tourist and attractive places as well as religious places. Even one can think of visiting attractive places outside India also as per the financial capacity as well the physical condition. It is also suggested to purchase only small quantities of grocery and vegetables daily from the local market so that one can go to the grocery shop daily and have proper physical activity and social networking in this way. Now life is so busy and the social connection is getting contrasted because the effect of the Western culture as well as the nuclear family system. So, one should be ready to accept the reality of changing lifestyle in the society and bring down the expectation from others, especially from friends, relatives and children, because when we maintain a high expectation from them and we do not get a matching response, it will hurt us more. So, the happiness, longevity and productivity of a retired person depends upon how well we plan the retirement, how accurately he invested the fund, how well he maintained his health, how precisely he maintained the social networking, how self-satisfied he is in his achievements, how serious he is in his hobbies and other activities, and of course how satisfied he is in his relations with friends and relatives. It means the future is in our hand. No one can help us except ourselves in converting the retired life into golden opportunities. So, utilize it patiently, precisely and properly. Be prepared to enjoy the retired life which others should envy at all.